name's Kaylee Wilson. I'm with Rising Sun Pools. I'm going to go ahead and go through a little bit of stuff that you need to do weekly just to make sure that your pool's okay and nothing's going to go wrong. What we're first going to talk about is the salt system. We are a Hayward dealer, so we focus on our Hayward stuff. If you have anything else other than Hayward, I would definitely check into the manufacturer to see what they recommend. Right now, my system says cold. It's just because the water is way too cold for it to read anything. You typically want your salt reading between 2,700 and 35. That makes it able to make the chlorine that it needs to. You also want your pump running at least 12 hours a day during sunlight. So if you do 8 to 8, 8 in the morning to 8 at night, that's perfect. If you do anything different, like 7 to 7 or maybe even 7 to 9, that's okay too. You want to super chlorinate at least once a week, but that's pretty much it for the salt system. We're going to go ahead and move on to the filter. You want to make sure that your pressure is pretty close to your starting pressure. Our starting pressure is 17. You see how it's moving? That means that we're good. We've recently backwashed. If it goes 8 to 10 above what your starting pressure is, you want to go ahead and backwash. Your filter's getting a little tight and it needs all that debris to get out. The next thing that you want to check is your pump basket. Ours is currently clean, so no need to empty that one. If there's debris in it or anything like that, that can mess with your filtration. The water flow will slow down. Sometimes it'll burn out your pump if you have too many leaves in there. So you also want to check that weekly. What we're going to do is turn it off and go ahead and check our skimmer to see if there's anything in here. I do have a few leaves in here, so you want to make sure that your pump is off when you take your basket out. If not, you're going to have a big fight wrestling match with it, and it's probably going to break your basket. Go ahead and just take your leaves out. Make sure that there's no bugs or anything sitting in there. You don't need to make sure it's crystal clean. That's just okay. We'll just put this right back in, put our top back on, flip it back on and get it running. And we'll go talk about water testing and brushing and all that, okay? All right, so weekly we definitely recommend skimming. This right here is going to be your best friend. He's going to get all the bugs and stuff off of the surface that don't get caught into your skimmer. Some people don't have to skim as much. I say skim at least once a week. If you don't see anything, then you're good. If you have a lot of trees by your pool, those leaves, especially in the fall, they're not going to be your friend. This guy is going to collect all those leaves into this bag, so you're not constantly chasing your tail getting those leaves out. With this one, I do recommend bringing it all the way across the pool back to the wall and pulling it up straight across. This bag's going to keep all those leaves in, so it's not going to fall out. If you decide to attempt to pull it up full of leaves like this, then it is likely that your pole is going to snap right in the middle, fully extended. We do recommend brushing at least 2 to 3 times a week. Even the most used pools will definitely get algae around the sides. It's completely normal. Your pool can be completely balanced, perfect, and still have a little bit of algae. So if you just brush your walls, brush your floor here and there, it's going to keep that algae from sticking, so you won't have a green pool. Vacuum as needed. Some people don't need to vacuum that much. You may have an automatic cleaner. That's great, but you need to vacuum. This also has multiple brushes on the bottom. Obviously you see it's been used. This will help get anything that's stuck to the bottom off. These test strips though, it's like a little miniature me. This is going to help you figure out if that pool is safe or not to swim in. We recommend using test strips 2 to 3 times a week just to make sure everything's good. What you'll do, take one out, make sure this is nicely sealed. There is an expiration date on it. It doesn't hurt to spend $7 on a new pair of test strips every season if needed. You're going to take the test strip, you're going to go about elbow deep, and then we'll compare it to the bottle. So as you see, my pool has no chlorine in it. The alkalinity is good, within range. Our pH is super low, and our calcium is where it needs to be. So I definitely need to get some water testing done. If you're not comfortable reading the strips or maybe even think that these may be expired, bring them in, bring in a water sample. We do free water testing up here as long as you buy product from us, and we can help you out. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call. Thank you.